Welcome back into the NCC studio. Jesse Cook alongside our NFL Draft guru, the NCC News NFL Draft Preview Show, carrying on here. And Anthony, I'd say you know a thing or two about football.
I love football.
That's key. Remember that as we're going throughout this. Well, you guys are talking about inflation. Well, the transfer portal is certainly going up. Another member of the Orange and center Jesse Edwards going to the transfer portal, but where will the big man go? All that and more after the break. Calling him a stud. I'm not sure I expected to hear that from you, Stephen, but thank you so much. And you're right. Mark was making these great saves, darting back and forth, quick hands, stopping shots in the 5-hole. A really impressive showing for Syracuse men's lacrosse in the season opener. And the Orange will be back at it on Friday at home again against UAlbany. But for now, we're going to take a break. When we come back, can you outrun a cheetah? Well, there's a 5K at the Rosamond Gifford Zoo, and you'll hear all about it after the break. Coming up, Syracuse football is riding a hot streak to open up the season, but is momentum enough to halt the top quarterback-wide receiver combination coming out of the Big Ten? The undefeated Orange had their toughest task yet in Week 3. The Syracuse women's soccer team was on the opposite track compared to the football program. The Cuse had not won a match in nearly a month, and a trip to the Three Rivers presented an opportunity to flip the switch. And why not serve up a volleyball vacation? The Orange headed south to sunnier states to set for some battles with some sleeping Tigers and surging Yellow Jackets. With the schedule winding down, it was time to see if SU could salvage an otherwise sour season. Keep tuned in and take a seat. On the Bench starts right now.
The Syracuse men's basketball season has long since ended, but the roster changes are in full force. Welcome into NCC Sports. I'm Jesse Cook. Guard Joe Girard announced his intent to enter the NBA draft while maintaining his college eligibility over Instagram last Friday. Moreover, the Glens Falls native has also entered the transfer portal, receiving interest from more than 10 programs, including LSU, Arkansas, Pitt, Maryland, Indiana, and more. Girard joins guard Judah Mintz as members of the Orange who entered the draft but kept their college eligibility. Moving into postseason play, it's San Diego State and Creighton, both coaches searching for landmark victories, and things start out really in the last few seconds. Baylor Shireman, a layup off an over-the-shoulder catch, tie game. Now, last couple seconds, Darian Trammell into the paint, lifts up a floater, not a chance, but a foul called. That's not a buzzer, it's a whistle. San Diego State gets to the line. See there, hand on the hip, can't do that. The Aztecs make one of two free throws and take a 57-56 lead. Last gasp for the Blue Jays, a baseball pitch the length of the court, but it never reaches home. The Aztecs advance to their first Final Four appearance. San Diego State is set to face Florida Atlantic, who has never made it this far either. Miami now in its second straight trip to the Elite Eight, going up against Texas. And things in the second half started well for Isaiah Wong. Cuts the deficit to 4 with a fadeaway. Norchad Omier to Nigel Pack for the layup. A one-score game now. Tied up, a minute to go. Pack a 3, no good. Omier for the rebound. He gets tabletopped by Brock Cunningham. Foul called against Texas. 2-2 from the line goes Omier. Now Texas, last chance, stripped away by, you guessed it, the man of the hour, Norchad Omier. Miami wins 88-81, moves on to the Final Four for the first time ever to take on UConn. Let's circle back to the Hill. Syracuse is the #1 team in the nation in women's lacrosse for just the second time ever. SU dueled with Louisville on Saturday. The Orange have not lost to the Cardinals since 2017. That was the year that Syracuse began 7-0, then the best start in program history. The Orange entered this affair with a new record at 10-0. So was a repeat upset in store? The short answer, no. 4-0 Syracuse turns to 5. Emma Ward from point-blank range. You're not going to stop her. She's one of the best in the nation, and it just kept going right for Syracuse. Second quarter, Sierra Cockrell with the steal all the way down the field. This is just how the game went. Syracuse operating like a machine. Megan Tyrell, a perennial Tewaaraton finalist, right outside the goalie's crease. Not a chance for the netminder. Syracuse now up 9. Patty cakes the ball around the offensive area before hitting Megan's sister Emma. She pulverizes the back of the net. Syracuse up 10. Emma Tyrell would finish with 4 goals, leading all scorers, and a 10-goal lead for Syracuse means a running clock in the second half. Well, the Orange were running all over the place. Maddie Baxter right in front of the net in the slot. All too easy for her, all too easy for the Orange. Syracuse keeps on winning, and in other news, the sky is in fact still blue. On the men's side, there was no perfect record, but there was a trophy to keep. Joey Spallina set the tone early, and all you can do with him is watch and wonder. Wow. Behind the back, are you kidding me? Syracuse down 2-1 in the first quarter. Michael Leo fixes that, ties it up 2-2 with a sidewinder. He would finish with his first career hat trick. Syracuse then added a third and a fourth, and Owen Hiltz to add the fifth. Lefty Ripper finds Twine. Syracuse up 5-2. That said, Hobart did have its say every now and then. Anthony Detellis, a CNY native, finds the back of the net. It's 7-3 Syracuse in the second quarter. Move beyond halftime. Leave it to the team captain. He got that title for a reason. Griffin Cook hockey sticks it through. Syracuse up by 7 in the third quarter. And if one behind the backer isn't enough, how about two? Joey Spallina, what are you doing out there? It's not fair. An 8-goal lead for Syracuse balloons up to an 18-7 finish. The Orange take their 9th straight Krause-Simmons trophy. Now, moving on to baseball season. Some think about opening day as a religious holiday, while for New York Yankees fans, it's more than that. They moved into the cathedral that's known as Yankee Stadium in style and packed the house. Let's get to the highlights for this one. The Yankees just absolutely obliterated from the start. The new captain for the team was the preacher in this game, and his sermon from the very beginning was dingers. No doubt about it, 1-0 on the first at-bat that Judge sees. He hit 62 last year. There's number 1 of 2023 for number 99. And if the Bronx Bombers' bats weren't good enough, Garrett Cole, 11 strikeouts. Talk about elite. That's a former Cy Young winner right there, walking off with some swagger. And it's Glaber Day in the Big Apple. Glaber Torres, a no-doubter, opposite field. That makes it 3-0 New York, and that lead just wouldn't stop. A 5-0 finish. The Yankees have their 68th all-time win on opening day. New York is 17-10 on opening day in seasons when the Yanks won the World Series.
High above the athletic complex at Sharon High School in Sharon, Massachusetts, I'm Jesse Cook, and this is Sharon TV. Welcome into the final regular season game for the Sharon High School boys varsity lacrosse squad. The Eagles are taking on the Bombardiers of Attleboro, and these are two teams on starkly different paths. First of all, Sharon is 12-4, Attleboro just 5-11. Also, SHS has outscored opponents this season by 86 goals. Attleboro, on the other hand, the Bombardiers have only scored 136 goals as opposed to allowing 156 to their opponents. So it all comes down to this, the final regular season matchup. It's one very high-powered offense to a defense that has been lackluster. So how will it all shake out? Why don't you stay tuned on Sharon TV? Ranked play ramps up for Syracuse men's lacrosse. Welcome into NCC Sports. I'm Jesse Cook. The Orange had not taken down an opponent inside the top 20 since March of last season. SU traveled to New Jersey for a contest with number 15 Princeton on Saturday. The Orange routinely struggled coming out of the gate. Syracuse averages just 4 goals in the first quarter every game. That's the worst mark in the ACC. Princeton, on the other hand, averages 3, which is the lowest line in the Ivy League. It's the Orange and the Tigers. Princeton searching for its 3rd win in a row. Syracuse in need of a bounce-back victory. And let's go to the long pole. Sam Alexo, he's supposed to be on defense, but now back-to-back games for him with a goal for the first time in his career. That opens up the scoring. Syracuse up 1-0 there. And then the Canadian, Finn Thompson, the freshman connection on the dish from Mikey Leo. Whoo! Back of the net. And if the freshman scoring wasn't enough from Finn Thompson, how about one of the best goal scorers in the nation? He's 3rd in points, Joey Spallina. He's had a half that most guys wouldn't have in a week. 4 goals in the first 30 minutes. Then Cole Kurse comes through late game with a kiss. 15-11 Syracuse. Make it 16, why not? That's your final, 16-13 Syracuse. And attackman Joey Spallina mounted 9 points on the afternoon. The freshman was optimistic to say the least after his season-best performance. And in Los Angeles last night, LeBron lifted the crown from Kareem's head. LeBron James is now the all-time leading scorer ahead of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That's 4 NBA titles, 4 MVP awards, 3 Olympic gold medals, and the all-time scoring record. It doesn't hurt that the kid from Akron is also 4th in assists and 10th in steals. In action tonight, the Rangers take on the Canucks. Vancouver has lost 6 of its last 10 games. New York, on the other hand, is on the exact opposite track with 6 wins in their last 10. Additionally, it's the 10th time that the Rangers match up with a Canadian team this season. The Blue Shirts are 5-4 against programs from the Great North. Welcome into sports. I'm Jesse Cook. SU center Jesse Edwards has entered the transfer portal, citing concerns over name, image, and likeness as the reasons behind his departure. International players cannot earn money through NIL. Edwards' family wanted an avenue to earn money in his home country of the Netherlands, but a deal with SU never worked out. These 12 programs have expressed interest in the senior, and of them, Arkansas, West Virginia, Gonzaga, NC State, and Memphis appeared in this year's NCAA tournament. Syracuse softball is in action right now with a doubleheader on the road at UAlbany. In Game 1, SU starter Madison Knight pitched the lights out, but the offense couldn't support her. The freshman allowed 3 runs on only 3 hits. And in the second contest, the Great Danes took command again. UAlbany did most of its damage in the 5th inning, crossing 4 runs over home. It's the top of the 7th right now. The Great Danes are up 4-1 in that contest. On the world stage, baseball fans saw one of the most anticipated matchups in recent memory last night. Team Japan secured its 3rd World Baseball Classic title with a 3-2 victory over the United States. Japanese team captain Shohei Ohtani and American captain Mike Trout are teammates with the Angels, and they're both former American League MVPs. They faced off for the first time ever last night with the championship on the line. We're talking last out, full count. Ohtani strikes out Trout for the final out, and Japan has its 3rd World Baseball Classic title. Things didn't look good for the Yankees at the beginning. Ahmed Rosario goes yard. That one opposite field, and it's a 3-0 lead for Cleveland. But it didn't last very long. The Yankees started to come back. Franchi Cordero, that man was in AAA last year, and now he's got home runs in back-to-back games. He's leading the Yanks in RBIs. And then the game winner, Oswaldo Cabrera, top of the 9th. 4-3, the Yankees beat the Guardians. A big win for New York and another series victory. That's a pretty big confidence builder if you have to revamp your entire offense because defenses are getting so wise that they have to cover you time and time again. So Sean Tucker is someone who could go pretty high in this draft class. You're watching the NCC News Draft Breakdown. So we talked Sean Tucker, but 2 guys on the defensive end who, just like Tucker, have been pretty reliable, Garrett Williams and Michael Jones. Where do you guys see them ending up? Reeling things back into the Dome, it's spring football season for SU, but not for the quarterback. Junior Garrett Schrader underwent surgery on his arm. The operation was a success, but he needs some time to recover. That knocks him out of the equation for spring practices. However, the Mississippi State transfer is scheduled to be good to go by the time that fall rolls around. Aiden O'Connell calling on his receivers, but who picks up the phone? The Syracuse defensive lineman Caleb Okechukwu, the first pick for a D lineman for Syracuse since 2020, and it's a pick 6. 10-point game, Syracuse on top, Purdue down but not out. O'Connell finds Charlie Jones, the top receiver in the Big Ten, add 55 yards and a touchdown to his resume. A big game for him, and Purdue not done yet. Down by 3. Payne Durham back in the game. A touchdown for the Boilermakers makes it a 4-point game with 51 seconds to go. Less than a minute for Syracuse to try and answer back. Garrett Schrader, with all hope against him, tries a prayer. Doesn't work out. Isaiah Jones not there with the grab, but wait a minute, there's a bright yellow glimmer of hope, and it's a pass interference call that gives Syracuse a second chance. Schrader again, meet Aronde Gadsden. Yes! Front of the end zone, Syracuse comes out on top, 7 seconds to go, 6-5, 4-3, 2-1, 0. Essentially a walk-off, and the Orange win 32-29, move to 3-0 on the year. Moving out west, Pittsburgh has 3 rivers, the Ohio, Allegheny, and Monongahela. Syracuse women's soccer entered the Steel City following 3 straight draws, and Pitt had not won in 3 weeks. SU had been winless for nearly a month, only scoring 3 goals in that time. With that array of triplets in mind, let's take it to the City of Bridges. Syracuse and Pittsburgh going at it from that gorgeous athletic complex. They got the baseball, softball fields, football not too far away, and Pitt got things going late in the first half, less than 3 3 minutes to go. It's Bree Hilsentegger from the back of the box and a left-footed shot. It's 1-0 Panthers, the 20th ranked team in the country, showing why they're so good. 42 goals on the season, a program record, and Sarah Shapansky with insult to injury in the last few minutes. That goal eliminated Syracuse from playoff contention. No postseason for the Orange, 2-0 the final, but the weekend didn't stop there for Syracuse.
Third down backs need a lot of strength to get through those NFL linemen. Tucker, playing in the ACC, has proved he can do that against teams like Clemson, Wake Forest, North Carolina.
And well.
Yeah, perennial top 25 teams. That's who he's going up against. That proves key in the NFL. Now, someone who has protected Tucker pretty reliably throughout his college career, Matthew Bergeron. He's a lot higher up on people's radars when it comes to the NFL draft. Is he a first rounder?
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
Tom Brady has announced his retirement from the National Football League. Welcome into sports. I'm Jesse Cook. The 7-time Super Bowl champion released a short video on Instagram early Wednesday morning, letting football fans know his playing career is over. Brady retired exactly 1 year ago today, but returned to the field after just over a month. Brady played the full 2022-23 season, and TB12's last game ended in a 31-14 loss to the Cowboys in the wild card round. His 7 Super Bowl rings stand at more than any one team, let alone another player, has ever won. Heading to the pitch, Ian McIntyre is here to stay. Syracuse Athletics announced that the men's soccer head coach signed a long-term contract extension. The 13-year headman of the Orange brought SU its first national championship in men's soccer. He also won his second ACC Coach of the Year award.